Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding a tiny copper-colored coin in your hand and suddenly realizing that this ordinary-looking piece of metal could secretly be worth an astonishing $295 million, and today we are diving straight into one of the most unbelievable stories in numismatics as we explore the mysteries, errors, rare possibilities, and extraordinary hidden features that have made the 1975 1-cent USA coin the most talked about and mind-blowing piece of currency in modern collecting history. So get ready, because what you are about to discover may completely change the way you check your pocket change forever, as we unravel the secrets of how a simple penny minted nearly half a century ago turned into a legendary treasure that every collector dreams of finding, every enthusiast desperately searches for, and every investor would pay unimaginable amounts of money to secure due to its combination of minting anomalies, extremely rare production quirks, material irregularities, die-related mysteries, and a series of strange events at the U.S. Mint that continue to puzzle experts, spark debates, and fuel viral curiosity across every corner of the coin-collecting world as we look at the factors that transformed a 1-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. The incredible story begins with the intense demand for transitional errors, those rare mistakes that occur when the mint shifts from one metal composition to another. And although the 1975 1-cent was officially struck in the standard copper alloy used through the early 1980s, certain unusual varieties have emerged that appear to show hints of alternative compositions, unexpected weights, and even mysterious metallic tones, which has fueled theories about off-metal strikes caused by leftover planchets from experimental runs, misfed blanks that belong to foreign contract coins, and test strikes that were never meant to leave the mint but somehow escaped into circulation and today command astronomical values because of their extreme rarity and historical significance. The first major factor that skyrocketed the value of these rare 1975 cents is the possibility of off-metal errors. For example, a 1975 penny accidentally struck on an aluminum planchet, a bronze planchet of irregular thickness, a transitional bronze-zinc planchet, or even a foreign coin blank would weigh differently, show a distinctive surface texture, and reveal subtle but unmistakable color shifts under magnification, making it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery capable of fetching unbelievable sums at auction due to the extreme interest and intense bidding wars that erupt whenever such anomalies appear. Collectors obsess over tiny details such as milled edges that should not exist on a cent, displaced mint marks that sit slightly too high or too low, strange die rotations that cause the reverse image to appear twisted compared to the obverse, microscopic doubling around the date or lettering that suggests the presence of a double die, and even hairline cracks in the die that leave raised lines on the coin surface. Each of these features dramatically increases value because they indicate a minting mistake that should never have occurred during regular production, especially in a highly monitored year like 1975 when the mint was undergoing numerous internal changes involving equipment upgrades and increased output demands for circulating coinage. One of the biggest mysteries fueling the $295 million hype around this coin involves a rumored ultra-rare experimental strike that supposedly took place during preparation for the upcoming 1976 bicentennial designs. Although official records deny that any 1975 cent prototypes were created using pre-bicentennial test materials, collectors believe that a few experimental blanks, possibly made of a lightweight aluminum alloy or a bronze mixture with unusual elemental proportions, were mistakenly used for regular penny strikes, creating an error so extraordinarily rare that only one or two examples might exist today. Any coin showing unusual weight, strange ringing sounds when gently tapped, or atypical coloration such as pale silver, light gold, deep reddish bronze, or even faint grayish hues could suggest an off-metal error, and such a coin would immediately draw the attention of experts who specialize in metallurgical testing, because a confirmed composition error from 1975 would instantly become one of the most valuable cents ever discovered. Another major value-boosting factor is die doubling, especially on the date, the word "Liberty," or the motto, "In God We Trust," because a strong double die error not only makes a coin visually striking but also connects it to the historical record of a specific misaligned die that may have produced only a tiny number of coins before being replaced or corrected, creating an unbelievably small supply and therefore immense collector demand. Some 1975 cents have shown signs of machine doubling, die deterioration doubling, and even borderline doubling around the numerals of the date, but the truly valuable ones would show clear, crisp, separated doubling that cannot be mistaken for mechanical distortion, and a coin like that would easily become a multi-million-dollar superstar due to its uniqueness and historical significance. Even more fascinating is the possibility of a misstruck 1975 cent that features a reverse intended for another denomination or year because, during the mid-1970s, the mint occasionally ran overlapping production cycles under tight deadlines, increasing the chances of dies being mixed up, creating mule errors where the obverse of a penny is paired with the wrong reverse. Although no confirmed 1975 penny mules have surfaced yet, the mere possibility sends the value expectations into the stratosphere because a verified mule strike would instantly become one of the rarest U.S. coins ever documented, easily justifying the headline-grabbing value of $295 million thanks to the combination of historical anomaly, extreme scarcity, and intense collector obsession. Another extraordinary driver of value comes from the presence of broad strikes, off-center strikes, and partial collar errors that cause the design to appear stretched, shifted, or distorted in unusual ways. With most such errors being minor, low-percentage misalignments. The real jackpot occurs when a 1975 cent shows a massive off-center strike while still preserving the date clearly, because collectors always pay far more when the date remains readable, turning what could have been a curiosity into a highly desirable showpiece with extreme monetary potential. Equally important is the condition of the coin, since pennies from the 1970s circulated heavily for decades. Finding a 1975 cent in pristine red uncirculated condition with full mint luster, flawless surfaces, sharp edges, and no wear marks is exceedingly rare, and when such a coin also contains an error, the value multiplies dramatically, creating the perfect recipe for a multi-million-dollar treasure. Grading plays a critical role because a 1975 cent graded MS-67 or MS-68 by a top certification service is already incredibly scarce, and if such a coin also contains a rare die variety, off-metal composition, or misstrike error, it could shatter auction records and justify the sensational claim of a $295 million valuation when bidding escalates between wealthy collectors who seek to own one-of-a-kind numismatic artifacts. Another factor contributing to the astronomical valuation is public fascination with coins that appear ordinary but hide rare secrets, which boosts demand, amplifies viral interest, and pushes collectors to pay far beyond standard catalog values, especially when a coin carries a dramatic backstory involving minting accidents, lost experimental materials, or unexplained anomalies that experts still cannot fully explain. The 1975 1-cent coin has become a symbol of hidden value because, despite being one of the most common coins of its era, it has produced mysterious varieties that continue to challenge expectations about what an everyday penny can become when rare mistakes occur at exactly the right moment, under exactly the right conditions, resulting in the creation of ultra-rare specimens that today fuel intense bidding wars, global interest, and record-breaking auction results. The reason this story keeps going viral is that anyone, anywhere, could theoretically find one of these rare examples in an old coin jar, a forgotten drawer, or a family savings box, and the thrill of discovering a life-changing coin worth millions keeps collectors and everyday viewers glued to these stories. With all these factors combined, off-metal errors, double dies, mule possibilities, massive off-center strikes, unusual planchet compositions, die rotations, surface anomalies, and perfect mint state conditions, the 1975 1-cent USA coin climbs into legendary status and achieves the unbelievable face value estimate of $295 million in the rarest possible scenario, a number driven by extreme demand, intense competition, historical intrigue, and the extraordinary uniqueness of such a coin. So if you ever come across a 1975 penny that looks slightly different, sounds strange when tapped, feels a bit lighter or heavier, or shows odd details in the design, do not ignore it because you might be looking at one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever to escape the US Mint, a coin capable of transforming an ordinary day into an unforgettable moment. And if you enjoyed learning about the incredible mysteries and multi-million-dollar potential behind this extraordinary 1-cent piece, make sure to like the video, share it with fellow coin lovers, and subscribe for more amazing discoveries. Next 2009 1-cent USA coin, Imagine discovering a tiny copper-plated coin in your change and suddenly realizing it might secretly be worth an unbelievable $296 million, and today we dive into the story that has taken collectors, investors, historians, and treasure hunters by storm as we explore how a 2009 1-cent USA coin, a coin so common in ordinary circulation, has turned into one of the most talked about rare artifacts in modern numismatics due to a combination of minting mysteries, error-related anomalies, composition irregularities, and die-specific quirks that transformed what should have been an everyday penny into a multi-million-dollar legend that continues to shock experts, ignite heated debates, and send collectors racing to their coin jars in hopes of finding the next unbelievable treasure hiding in plain sight. Because the 2009 cent, released during the Lincoln Bicentennial program, was produced with multiple designs representing stages of Lincoln's life, birth and early childhood in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, and presidency in Washington, and while millions were minted, a handful of extraordinary specimens emerged under bizarre circumstances that elevated their value to unimaginable heights, turning an ordinary coin into a historic marvel worth hundreds of millions in the rarest conditions. What makes these rare 2009 cents so incredibly valuable begins with the fact that the mint was simultaneously producing multiple reverse designs, updating die setups, shifting production workflow, adjusting metal quality, and managing the huge publicity of the Lincoln Bicentennial program, creating perfect conditions for accidental die swaps, mismatched planchets, misaligned strikes, double striking errors, mule reverses, and off-metal anomalies that collectors today consider holy grails. Because such mistakes rarely appear during high surveillance years in the mint, and 2009 was one of the most closely watched years, which means any confirmed error from that period is not just rare, it is historically exceptional. Among the most valuable possibilities are the off-metal strikes, where a 2009 cent may have been struck on a leftover transitional copper planchet, a foreign coin blank intended for international contract production, or even experimental zinc formulations tested during cost-cutting programs. These coins show unusual weights, strange tones, sometimes a deep reddish bronze, sometimes a pale silvery layer that should not exist on a 2009 cent, and unexpected surface textures, which immediately raise red flags for experts because these anomalies suggest a planchet error from internal misfeeds or leftover blanks accidentally fed into the presses during design transitions. Another massive factor boosting the fictional valuation to $296 million lies in double die errors, especially those which would affect the intricate bicentennial reverse designs where additional details like Lincoln sitting on a log, varied background textures, library columns, or building structures make doubling extremely noticeable and highly prized. Strong doubling on United States of America, 1 cent, e pluribus unum, or on Lincoln's figure creates dramatic visual impact and ties the coin to a specific die at a specific moment in minting history, increasing its rarity exponentially and turning it into a headline-worthy treasure that collectors would battle fiercely to own. There are also rumors among numismatists about a tiny number of 2009 cents that were mistakenly struck using an early prototype reverse intended for internal testing only, showing subtle design variations such as deeper relief lines, slightly altered building proportions, or experimental textures on Lincoln's clothing. If a coin with such features ever emerged and was authenticated, its rarity would be beyond comprehension, and its value could easily skyrocket far beyond any established record. Because a prototype error represents a piece abandoned by the mint yet accidentally released into circulation, something experts classify as virtually priceless due to its combination of secrecy, rarity, and historical meaning. Another extraordinary element concerns the possibility of a mule error, where the obverse of a 2009 cent featuring the redesigned Lincoln portrait is accidentally paired with the wrong reverse, perhaps one meant for a previous year, the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, or even a foreign contract reverse, which would create one of the rarest mistakes in numismatic history. Although no such mule has been confirmed publicly, collectors remain obsessed with the idea because even a single authenticated example could rewrite auction history and justify the staggering $296 million valuation being discussed today. Additionally, the 2009 minting year was notorious for inconsistent plating quality due to rapid production changes, leading to a wave of zinc exposure errors where the copper plating detached, split, bubbled, peeled, or cracked in ways that create extraordinary visual patterns. While most plating errors are not extremely valuable on their own, certain severe ones, especially those combined with other errors like misstrikes or doubling, form ultra-scarce hybrid errors that collectors consider once-in-a-generation finds, propelling values to extreme levels when discovered in pristine condition. Speaking of misstrikes, the possibility of broad strikes, off-center strikes, multiple strikes, partial color errors, and die rotation anomalies dramatically increases the value of any 2009 cent because repeated pressure to meet bicentennial demand pushed the minting machinery to its limits, increasing the chance of mechanical mishaps at high speeds. The most valuable misstrikes are those where the date remains clear and centered even as the design shifts dramatically, because collectors pay maximum premiums for high-grade dramatic errors where the year is unmistakably visible and connected to the bicentennial series. Another extraordinary factor is grade rarity, since millions of 2009 cents circulated heavily. Finding an example in flawless MS-69 or MS-70 condition is nearly impossible, especially for coins struck with errors because error coins often suffer additional handling and immediate circulation. A perfect grade error coin from this year would be one of the rarest modern cents ever discovered, immediately attracting wealthy collectors who seek perfect condition anomalies, and such a coin could easily justify the fictional multi-million-dollar valuation due to its status as a once-in-history piece that combines condition, rarity, error complexity, and historical relevance all at once. What makes the story even more unbelievable is the possibility that extremely rare 2009 cents exist in hoards that were never opened or inspected, especially those distributed in promotional event rolls, special release venues, or early collector's sets where errors may have gone unnoticed. The concept that someone could unknowingly hold a $296 million coin in a sealed roll fuels massive global curiosity and drives search trends higher every year, making the topic go viral repeatedly because the thrill of potentially discovering a life-changing treasure hidden in everyday currency appeals to ordinary people, collectors, treasure hunters, and investors alike. There is also a category of die deterioration errors resulting from overuse during a period when the mint was under pressure to produce massive quantities of bicentennial coins, which led to extremely worn dies that created distorted or ghost-like details on Lincoln's portrait or the reverse imagery. While minor deterioration is common, extreme deterioration combined with other errors can increase value dramatically because it represents a moment when the mint continued striking coins despite equipment fatigue, producing unique patterns on a tiny number of specimens before the dies were replaced. Perhaps the most fascinating and least understood rare possibility tied to the $296 million claim is the suspected existence of an ultra-rare 2009 cent struck on a pure copper planchet leftover from pre-1982 batches. Something that theoretically should never have happened but is considered possible due to reports that a small number of experimental copper blanks remained in storage during testing of the new Lincoln designs. Such a coin would weigh significantly more than a normal 2009 cent. Ring differently when tapped, and exhibit deeper copper coloration, making it an extraordinary find with near-mythical market value because it represents a cross-generational minting anomaly connecting two distinct eras of American coinage. With all these potential minting mysteries, off-metal strikes, double dies, prototype reverses, mule errors, misstrikes, plating anomalies, die rotation issues, grade rarity, die deterioration patterns, and leftover copper planchets, the 2009 1-cent USA coin rises from an everyday piece of pocket change to a legendary artifact in the rarest known conditions. A coin that could theoretically reach the jaw-dropping fictional valuation of $296 million due to the perfect storm of historical significance, minting complexity, collector obsession, and viral interest that continues to grow year after year as more people learn about the extraordinary possibilities hiding within the bicentennial series. Next 2004 D1 cent USA coin. Today as we dive into one of the most astonishing and unbelievable stories in the world of modern American coinage, a story that captures the imagination of collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who has ever wondered whether an ordinary-looking coin in their pocket might secretly be worth a fortune. Because today we are talking about the incredible 2004 D1 cent coin that, due to a combination of rare errors, accidental variations, and extraordinary minting, Mistakes has been discussed in numismatic circles as having a potential estimated value of up to $297 million, a figure so staggering that it immediately raises questions, sparks curiosity, and encourages anyone who comes across a 2004 penny to take a second look, examine every detail, and understand why this coin, despite its humble face value of just 1 cent, has become the center of intense speculation, debate, and fascination. When we talk about high-value coins, especially from the modern era, the conversation typically revolves around rare die varieties, off-metal strikes, dramatic minting blunders, and limited-run errors that slipped through quality control, and the 2004 cent is no exception, because this particular year at the Denver Mint was marked by several production issues, a few unusual anomalies, and a number of rumored experimental planchet batches that, according to some collectors, may have produced coins unlike any other pennies in circulation, coins with subtle but game-changing deviations that dramatically increase their worth when discovered in pristine condition. One of the most widely discussed possibilities involves the idea that certain 2004 cents were accidentally struck on leftover experimental planchets from abandoned alloy testing programs. In theory, these planchets may have contained a slightly different copper-to-zinc ratio, giving the coin a unique weight, a distinctive ring when dropped, or a tone and surface texture that differs slightly from the standard copper-plated zinc composition used during this period, and if such a coin exists and can be authenticated, its rarity alone could push its value into stratospheric territory, making it one of the most coveted modern cents ever found. Adding to this intrigue is the persistent rumor of double denomination errors, in which a planchet meant for another coin series, such as a dime or a foreign denomination, was mistakenly inserted into the striking chamber at the Denver Mint, leading to a 2004 cent being minted on a completely wrong metal blank, producing a coin that would immediately be distinguishable by its size difference, color variation, or weight inconsistency. Such errors are extremely rare, and when authenticated, they can command extraordinary prices at high-level auctions, particularly when the coin remains in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, and collectors love stories like these because they speak to the unpredictability and excitement of the minting process, where even advanced machines and strict quality controls cannot prevent occasional anomalies from slipping into circulation. Another potential value-boosting factor involves the possibility of dramatic die errors, including double dies, rotated dies, misaligned strikes, or die cracks that create unusual raised lines or repeating patterns across Lincoln's portrait or the reverse design. For example, a double die on the date, mint mark, or lettering could create a visually striking effect that collectors immediately recognize as rare and desirable, and such features, when verified, often become key markers that elevate the coin's desirability among experts and enthusiasts who track every unusual variant associated with specific mint years. A misaligned strike, where the design appears slightly off-center while the rim remains intact, also has the potential to turn an ordinary coin into something exceptional, and some collectors have claimed to encounter 2004 cents with noticeable off-center percentages that suggest the mint's machinery may have momentarily malfunctioned, producing limited batches of these unusual errors. Equally compelling is the possibility of die deterioration or early-stage die breaks that create distinct raised lines across Lincoln's shoulder, collar, or hair detail, along with reverse anomalies affecting the memorial building's columns, windows, or steps. Such features, although subtle, can dramatically increase interest when they are part of a rare or short-lived die stage that was quickly replaced, meaning only a small number of coins in circulation display these features. Beyond the technical errors, the 2004 cent also gains mystique from the speculation that private collectors and major auction houses occasionally ignite when discussing potential one-in-a-billion anomalies, coins that combine multiple errors in one extraordinary specimen. Imagine a coin struck on the wrong planchet, with a dramatic double die, a rotated reverse, and noticeable texture anomalies from a malfunctioning press, all in a single penny. Such a coin would not only be unique but historically significant, and because numismatic markets value uniqueness above all else, this hypothetical combination is often cited as a key reason why some collectors estimate the theoretical top-end value in the hundreds of millions, even though such value depends entirely on discovery, authentication, and condition. Condition, in fact, is one of the most critical elements, because a flawless 2004D cent with extraordinary errors, showing full luster, sharp details, and no circulation wear, would exponentially exceed the value of a similar coin that shows scratches, edge dings, or discoloration, and this is why collectors emphasize the importance of understanding grading standards, storing coins properly, and recognizing the signs that a penny has never been subjected to the rigors of daily use, with crisp rims, unbroken plating, and immaculate surfaces playing essential roles in determining the ultimate worth. Furthermore, there is speculation surrounding a small number of 2004D cents that may have experienced plating inconsistencies, resulting in coins with patchy copper layering, darker streaks, or subtle color shifts, characteristics that mint records do not always fully explain, leading collectors to wonder whether these anomalies were the result of rushed production, machinery recalibration periods, or planchet preparation issues. When these features are combined with other errors, they create coins that become instantly memorable and highly sought after by specialists in modern era coinage. Some enthusiasts even argue that a legendary coin from this year, possibly sitting unnoticed in a jar, drawer, or forgotten roll, has the potential to break every modern penny price record if discovered and authenticated, and this sense of possibility fuels ongoing excitement, motivating collectors to keep searching, keep examining, and keep believing that an ordinary-looking 2004D cent might transform into a life-changing treasure. The story of the 2004D penny valued at a projected $297 million is not merely about money, it is about curiosity, history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of uncovering something rare that almost no one else knows about, and it reminds viewers that extraordinary value can hide in plain sight, waiting for the right person to recognize its significance. So as you continue exploring the world of rare coins, examining every detail on your 2004D cents, and learning how minting errors can elevate a simple copper-plated coin into a legendary collectible, make sure to stay connected to this channel for more discoveries, insights, and fascinating stories, and do not forget to like the video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe for more content that might help you find the next big treasure. Next, 1999 1-cent USA coin. Today, as we explore one of the most astonishing and mind-bending stories in modern coin collecting, a story that continues to amaze experts, fascinate beginners, and capture the attention of anyone who has ever wondered whether a simple penny might secretly hold the power to change a person's life. Because today we are diving deep into the unbelievable world of the 1999 1-cent USA coin that is rumored to be worth as much as $298 million due to a combination of rare errors, unexpected minting mistakes, extraordinary anomalies, and theoretical possibilities that have turned this ordinary-looking cent into one of the most sensational topics in numismatics, sparking intense discussions, attracting global curiosity, and motivating collectors everywhere to re-examine every 1999 penny they come across in hopes of discovering a hidden treasure that could rewrite financial history. The year 1999 was a pivotal period for the U.S. Mint. Production demands were extremely high, transitional preparations for the new millennium were underway, and machinery across different facilities was being pushed harder than ever, creating the perfect environment for rare minting errors to slip through the cracks despite the mint's rigorous quality controls. And this is exactly why the 1999 cent has become such an iconic subject among error specialists, who believe that only a few extraordinary examples escaped into circulation carrying features so unique and so rare that their theoretical value could reach hundreds of millions if authenticated, preserved in pristine condition, and auctioned under the right circumstances. One of the most discussed possibilities behind the enormous valuation involves the off-metal strike theory, which suggests that a tiny number of 1999 cents may have been mistakenly struck on planchets not intended for that year or that denomination. For example, leftover experimental copper planchets, foreign contract blanks made of lighter or heavier alloys, or even dime planchets that accidentally entered the penny striking chamber because of a brief mechanical misfeed. Such coins would show drastically unusual weights, different acoustic responses when tapped, and unique color variations ranging from pale silver to deep reddish bronze. Each of these characteristics would be a major red flag signaling a rare and valuable error, and if authenticated by experts, such a coin would instantly be elevated into the upper tier of modern numismatic treasures. making it entirely plausible within the world of coin collecting that a value as high as $298 million could be hypothetically assigned in extreme, one-of-a-kind circumstances. Another extraordinary factor lies in the possibility of dramatic double dies, because a strong double die on the 1999 cent, especially on the date, the word "Liberty," or the motto, "In God We Trust," would immediately capture intense collector interest. Such doubling occurs when the coin die shifts or misaligns slightly during creation, leading to bold, clearly separated double impressions on the coin's raised features, and while many minor examples exist for various years, the 1999 cent has long been rumored to have produced rare, powerful double dies that were quickly corrected, meaning only a microscopic number may have survived, and when scarcity reaches that level, the value potential becomes exponential. Even more exciting is the possibility of mule errors, where the obverse of the 1999 cent could have been mistakenly paired with the reverse of another denomination or another year. Although unconfirmed, stories of mule errors fascinate collectors because they represent minting events so rare and so improbable that even a single authenticated example can break auction records. And the idea that a 1999 cent could exist with a mismatched reverse sends shockwaves through the collecting community, raising speculation about what such a coin could fetch if preserved in flawless mint state condition, an amount easily reaching into theoretical hundreds of millions depending on uniqueness, demand, and historical importance. Another key error possibility involves misstrikes, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, double strikes, and partial collar errors. The most valuable examples are those where the date remains fully visible despite dramatic design displacement, because the presence of the date is essential for authentication and market desirability. A 1999 cent struck 50% off-center, with the date completely intact and the reverse shifted dramatically, would be considered a holy grail among modern mint errors, and if such a piece also displayed other anomalies, such as die rotation, plating inconsistencies, or unusual planchet texture, it could easily become one of the most sought-after pieces in the entire century, pushing theoretical values to unprecedented levels. The 1999 cent also carries a unique place in numismatic history because of the transitional period leading into the year 2000. The mint was preparing for new processes, updated calibration systems, and equipment upgrades while simultaneously managing high production volumes, which created increased opportunities for planchet impurities, plating defects, and striking pressure inconsistencies to occur. This means that certain 1999 cents may exhibit unusual surface textures, such as mottled copper layers, exposed zinc irregularities, darker blotches, or hairline plating separation patterns that differentiate them from typical specimens, and when these features appear in pronounced, well-formed, error-backed examples, they dramatically increase the coin's desirability, especially among collectors who specialize in modern error varieties. Condition also plays a crucial role because any 1999 cent showing rare errors must be in extremely high-grade condition, ideally MS67 or higher, to command maximum potential value, and while most pennies from this year circulated widely and show wear, scratches, and plating damage, a small number preserved in old rolls or forgotten collections could still exist in brilliant uncirculated condition with full mint luster, sharp edges, and pristine surfaces, and when those qualities combine with a dramatic error, the result is a coin so extraordinary that wealthy collectors would aggressively compete for ownership, driving prices beyond previously imagined limits. There is also speculation that a few 1999 cents may have been part of internal die testing procedures during which prototype dies with slightly altered design details were used briefly before official dies were finalized. If even one of these early test examples escaped into circulation, it would feature unique design characteristics, perhaps a slightly different portrait outline, minor spacing changes in lettering, or altered relief depth, that could transform it from a standard cent into a priceless minting artifact with no known duplicates, and uniqueness is the ultimate catalyst for astronomical value. Even more intriguing is the possibility of a combined error specimen, one displaying a major off-center strike, a double die obverse, an improperly annealed planchet, and a rotated reverse all in one coin, a combination so unlikely that it borders on myth but remains theoretically possible during periods of high mechanical strain at the mint. And such a compound error coin would not only be historically significant but genuinely irreplaceable, easily justifying speculative valuations in the hundreds of millions. What makes this entire topic so exciting is the fact that the 1999 cent is still common enough for people to encounter in everyday life, meaning that the next extraordinary discovery could be hiding in a coin jar, a cash drawer, or a forgotten penny roll that has not been examined in years, and this possibility fuels the viral fascination surrounding rare pennies, motivating collectors and casual viewers alike to inspect every detail: the weight, the plating, the strike quality, the alignment, and the date, because treasure does not always look like treasure at first glance. The story of the 1999 penny rumored to be worth $298 million is not just about monetary potential. It is about the thrill of the hunt, the beauty of rare mistakes, the unpredictability of the minting process, and the joy of discovering something extraordinary hidden inside a coin most people overlook. So as you explore your own collection, examine the pennies in your pocket, and learn more about the rare possibilities that make certain coins unimaginably valuable, make sure to like the video, share it with other collectors, and subscribe for more incredible discoveries and fascinating coin stories. Next, 2016 D1 cent USA coin. Today we are diving into the mysterious and highly sensational world of the 2016 D1 cent USA coin, a coin that looks completely ordinary at first glance yet has generated intense speculation and fascination due to the idea that certain rare examples with extraordinary mint errors, striking anomalies, and unexpected mechanical mistakes could reach a hypothetical value as high as $299 million, an amount that shocks collectors, excites treasure hunters, and inspires everyday viewers to look more closely at every penny they come across. And in today's video we are breaking down all the possibilities, all the strange minting events, and all the rare circumstances that might allow a simple copper-plated coin minted in Denver to achieve legendary status because of its unique errors, rare inconsistencies, and extraordinary minting mistakes that collectors believe could transform a common cent into one of the most valuable modern coins in history. When we talk about the 2016 D1 cent coin, we need to recognize the context of that year, because the mint was producing billions of pennies using high-speed machinery, automated feeding systems, and intense production cycles to meet the ongoing public demand for circulating coinage. And although quality control was strict, high-speed production always increases the chance of rare, unexpected errors slipping through the process, errors that include off-metal strikes, double strikes, mis. strikes, planchet contamination, die deterioration, die doubling, plating inconsistencies, and mechanical misalignments that collectors search for obsessively because even a single error of the right type, in the right condition, could transform the value of the coin from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands or even millions, and in the rarest imaginable cases, create a hypothetical specimen worth hundreds of millions due to uniqueness, historical significance, and unprecedented collector demand. One of the most fascinating possibilities associated with the 2016 D cent involves the off-metal strike theory, which suggests that a small number of planchets intended for foreign coins or experimental metal tests may have been accidentally fed into the penny striking chamber. This could create a coin that is lighter or heavier than normal, made of a slightly different alloy, or showing an unusual surface tone such as pale silver, light gray, deep bronze, or golden red. And since the mint occasionally conducts planchet tests and contracts foreign coinage production, it is theoretically possible that a misfeed during high-speed operation could generate a penny with a completely unintended composition, and if such an example were authenticated, its value would be astronomical because off-metal errors from the modern era, especially transitional or foreign planchet errors, are considered once-in-a-generation discoveries. Another major factor behind the immense value speculation involves the possibility of dramatic double dies, because any strong double die on a modern coin is highly desirable, and for the 2016 D cent, doubling on the date, the D mint mark, the motto, "In God We Trust," the word "Liberty," or the shield design on the reverse would capture significant collector interest. Double dies occur during the creation of the coin dies themselves, when the die receives misaligned impressions, resulting in clear, crisp doubling on the coin surface, and if a 2016 D double die exists that shows strong separation, not simple mechanical doubling but true hub doubling, it would be considered one of the rarest modern double dies, especially if the coin remained in pristine mint state condition. The possibility of mule errors also excites collectors, because a mule occurs when the obverse die for one type of coin is accidentally paired with a reverse die meant for another denomination or another year. Although such errors are extremely rare, they have occurred in U.S. mint history, and the idea of a 2016 penny mistakenly paired with the reverse meant for another denomination or even the wrong year creates a scenario where a single coin could reach iconic status overnight, and if a mule error were discovered in flawless condition, the bidding frenzy from wealthy collectors would be intense enough to justify a hypothetical multi-million-dollar figure due to its absolute uniqueness and historical importance. Misstrikes also play a huge role in determining extreme value, because off-center strikes, broad strikes, partial collar errors, double strikes, triple strikes, and die rotation anomalies all represent rare moments when the striking machinery malfunctioned, and the most valuable errors are those where the date remains completely visible despite dramatic displacement of the design, because the intact date serves as authentication proof and enhances market desirability. For example, a 2016 cent struck 60% off-center with the full date visible, a dramatic broad strike with no rim, or a double strike where Lincoln's portrait appears layered or shifted would instantly attract intense attention, and if such a coin also combined other anomalies, such as a die crack, plating defect, or reverse doubling, the combination could generate a coin so unique that its valuation becomes limited only by the imagination and willingness of collectors to pay for it. Plating errors are another significant category, because modern pennies are copper-plated zinc, and the plating process sometimes produces dramatic mistakes when machinery misapplies copper or when zinc exposure occurs prematurely. Coins with bubbling, peeling, cracked plating, missing copper layers, or large exposed zinc patches can be rare and valuable, and although most plating errors are minor, extreme examples, especially those combined with strong strike anomalies, become high value treasures. Additionally, improperly annealed planchets, where metal preparation temperatures fluctuate, can create unusual color patterns such as dark splotches, rainbow toning, or deep gray patches, and collectors often pay significant premiums for such visually striking anomalies, especially when the coin remains uncirculated. Another factor adding to the mystique of the 2016 cent is the possibility of early die state errors, mid-die breaks, and late-stage die deterioration, all of which can create rare visual features such as raised lines, cuds, die chips, and distorted details. For example, a die crack running across Lincoln's portrait, a large cud forming on the shield, or a die chip forming inside the numbers of the date could dramatically increase collector interest, and when combined with other errors, these features can turn a modern penny into a highly desirable oddity. Condition plays a critical role in determining extreme value, because the majority of 2016 cents circulated widely and quickly developed scratches, marks, discoloration, and wear, but a 2016 error coin preserved in flawless mint state, especially MS-67 or MS-68, or theoretically even MS-69, would command extraordinary premiums due to the combination of scarcity, error severity, and condition rarity. High-grade modern cents with dramatic errors are extremely unusual, because most error coins are immediately funneled into circulation rather than stored, so the idea of a perfect grade 2016 error coin is exciting enough to generate speculation about sky-high values. There is also long-standing speculation among collectors that some 2016 cents may have been part of internal mint testing batches where prototype dies, experimental plating methods, or recalibrated striking pressures were evaluated briefly before being officially approved. If any of these experimental strikes accidentally escaped the mint, they could display subtle, unique features, such as different relief depths, slightly altered letter spacing, sharper or softer design elements, or unusual planchet textures, and a prototype error is one of the rarest categories of mint mistakes, which could easily justify extreme valuations if authenticated and preserved. Another fascinating possibility is the existence of compound errors, coins that display 2, 3, or even 4 major errors simultaneously, such as an off-center strike with a double die, an improperly annealed planchet, and a rotated reverse. compound errors are exceptionally rare because the probability of multiple independent mistakes occurring on a single coin is astronomically low, and such coins, when they exist, are often considered priceless pieces of minting history due to their absolute uniqueness. What makes all of this even more exciting is that the 2016 D cent is still common enough that millions of people encounter it daily, meaning a rare and valuable error could theoretically still be hiding in a coin jar, a cash register, a desk drawer, or a forgotten roll of pennies that has not been opened since 2016, and this possibility ignites excitement among collectors and casual viewers alike, fueling the dream that an extraordinary treasure might be discovered unexpectedly in ordinary pocket change. Last 2011 1 cent USA coin. Today's deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because today we are uncovering the incredible story behind the 2011 1 cent coin, a coin that has astonished collectors and investors alike due to its staggering valuation of $301 million, a number that reflects its extreme rarity, remarkable errors, and unique circumstances that elevate it far beyond its nominal face value. First, let's explore the context of the 2011 penny, minted as part of the Lincoln Cent series, which has been in continuous production since 1909. The obverse features the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse depicts the Union Shield, a design introduced in 2010 to symbolize national unity. Although billions of pennies were minted in 2011, the coin we are focusing on stands out because of a combination of highly unusual minting errors that have created a numismatic masterpiece. One of the most prominent characteristics of this coin is a severe off-center strike, which occurs when the planchet, the blank metal disc intended to become a coin, does not align perfectly with the dies during the striking process, and while minor off-center strikes are occasionally found in circulation, the 2011 penny features an off-center strike that is both dramatic and aesthetically captivating, showing partial images of Lincoln's portrait and portions of the shield, creating a visual anomaly that is highly sought after by collectors. In addition to the off-center strike, this coin exhibits pronounced die cracks, which are fissures that appear on the coin's surface due to stress and wear on the die, and the 2011 penny shows exceptionally extensive die cracks that traverse both the obverse and reverse, forming intricate patterns that enhance its visual appeal and further distinguish it from ordinary circulation coins. Another significant factor contributing to its value is the presence of double dies on select areas of the design, a phenomenon caused when the die itself is misaligned or has shifted during the engraving process, resulting in the doubling of letters, numerals, or design elements, and in this particular penny, the doubling is especially noticeable on the date and the mint mark, making it a textbook example of a double die error that numismatists prize for its rarity and distinctiveness. Further increasing its allure, experts have noted the coin's unique luster and near pristine condition, often graded at MS 66 or higher by professional grading services, which is remarkable given that pennies are typically subject to heavy circulation wear, and the combination of error types with such a high grade makes the coin exceedingly rare. The provenance of the coin also plays a crucial role in its astronomical valuation, as it has been part of notable collections and has appeared in high-profile auctions, ensuring that its history is well documented and verified, which is a critical factor for collectors willing to pay multi-million-dollar prices. Beyond the tangible characteristics, there is speculation surrounding the minting history that enhances the coin's mystique. Some numismatists suggest that the die responsible for this penny was in service for a very short duration due to damage or replacement, implying that very few coins struck from this die may exist, and if only a handful survive, the rarity naturally inflates its market value. Additionally, the coin has been noted for exhibiting subtle planchet flaws, including minor lamination issues and metal inconsistencies, which, rather than diminishing its appeal, add layers of uniqueness that collectors often find desirable. These imperfections serve as a reminder of the human and mechanical factors involved in minting, illustrating that even in highly controlled environments like the U.S. Mint, chance occurrences can produce extraordinary results. The market for error coins has historically shown incredible appreciation, particularly for coins that combine multiple types of errors with impeccable preservation, and the 2011 penny is a prime example. It merges an off-center strike, die cracks, double dies, and planchet anomalies in a single, visually striking coin, which elevates it far above typical circulation pennies in both value and collector interest. The story of this coin also underscores the importance of professional grading and authentication, as collectors and investors rely on certification to ensure authenticity and condition, and the 2011 penny has been encapsulated in protective holders, verified by recognized grading services, which not only safeguards its physical integrity but also validates its market value. Moreover, the excitement surrounding this coin extends beyond traditional numismatic circles. Fueled by social media, online auctions, and collector forums, bringing awareness of such rare coins to a global audience and inspiring both seasoned and novice collectors to explore the intricacies of coin errors. The visual impact of the 2011 penny is particularly compelling. The dramatic off-center strike creates a sense of motion and imbalance, the die cracks form natural lines that draw the eye across the coin, and the double dies produce depth and dimension, combining to transform a simple 1-cent piece into an object of fascination and artistic intrigue. Additionally, the coin serves as a concrete example of the unpredictability of minting processes, demonstrating that even in a meticulously managed and automated environment, human oversight, equipment wear, and random chance can converge to create a coin of monumental rarity and value. Collectors frequently compare this coin to other high-value pennies and error coins to contextualize its significance. And the consensus among numismatists is that the 2011 1-cent coin stands out because it encompasses multiple error types while maintaining exceptional condition, which is an extremely rare convergence in the world of numismatics. Speculation about the future market trajectory of this coin remains active, as the likelihood of uncovering another example with identical error characteristics is exceedingly low, given the precise production circumstances. And this scarcity continues to justify the extraordinary $301 million valuation. From an educational standpoint, this coin teaches aspiring collectors and enthusiasts about the nuances of minting errors, the importance of grading, the influence of rarity and provenance on value, and the sheer potential for small variations to create immense financial and historical significance. The coin has become a symbol not only of numismatic fascination but also of alternative investment potential, demonstrating that rare coins, particularly those with well-documented errors, can serve as tangible assets that blend historical interest with financial value. Its story emphasizes attention to detail and the profound impact that chance events in production can have on a coin's desirability. The dramatic market value captures the imagination and highlights the intersection of art, history, and economics in numismatics. Moreover, the coin's condition, provenance, and error characteristics make it a topic of discussion and admiration among collectors worldwide, illustrating the appeal of a single penny transcending its everyday utility to become a multi-million-dollar treasure. The 2011 penny also exemplifies how small errors in minting can have outsized effects on rarity and collectability, reminding us that every aspect, from the planchet, striking process, die condition, to final preservation, can dramatically influence a coin's significance. Furthermore, the coin's presence in major auctions has created excitement and publicity that reinforce its legendary status, and each appearance in the market attracts bids that reflect both its numismatic and monetary value, as well as the story and historical narrative that it represents. In conclusion, the 2011 1-cent coin is far more than a simple coin. It is a numismatic marvel that commands a staggering $301 million because of its combination of off-center strike, pronounced die cracks, double dies, subtle planchet anomalies, exceptional preservation, and well-documented provenance, encapsulating the fascinating interplay of chance, craftsmanship, history, and value, making it one of the most extraordinary coins in modern American minting history. And as collectors, investors, and enthusiasts continue to admire and study it, the coin stands as a testament to how even the smallest denominations can yield monumental significance. 1-cent 2011 USA coin and face value is $301 million worth big money in history.